You know, I had every intention of this being a positive video before today's result, but after that game, there's no way this is going to be a positive video. So as you guys know, Copa America is underway. It started last Thursday. That means after today's game, Mexico is 2 games into their Copa America run. And so far, it has been absolutely terrible, abysmal. I am lost for words with this team. I have been pretty pessimistic about the national team for the last handful of years. But I went into this tournament hoping for the best, hoping that we could do something. And so far, I have been proven so wrong in just 2 games. It's been absolutely crazy. So Mexico's first game this tournament was against Jamaica, which, all things considered, I really wasn't too concerned about this game. Mexico plays Jamaica all the time. They're also a CONCACAF team. I had a feeling we were gonna win this game, but even though we won it, I wasn't too convinced. Honestly, with this game, there were so many things happening in this game that just made me think about the future, the fact that we had to play 2 pretty good teams going forward, and I honestly left this game happy that we got the win, but concerned about the long run. So in this game, like I mentioned, right, I didn't feel too threatened by the fact that we were playing against Jamaica. I had a feeling we were gonna win, and even though it was hard, we ended up pushing to a 1-0 win. We controlled most of the game. We had the big share of the possession. We had a lot of shots. We got kind of lucky with the goal. Honestly, towards the end, we were just kind of pushing numbers forward, and Jamaica was just kind of sitting back, inviting pressure. Arteaga got his goal, good for him. But throughout the entire game, we just struggled so much with creating meaningful chances, and it really just felt like there was such a lack of creativity in that midfield. It was so hard to watch at times, this team try and create chances, and it just not going well. Players like Antuna again having a terrible game. Players like Santi Gimenez finally getting his chance. Credit to Jimmy Lozano finally giving Santi Gimenez his chance, but he has not made that much of it. I love Santi Gimenez. I'm not gonna lie, big fan of him. I love seeing our players do well in Europe. He's killing it for Feyenoord, but for La Selección, he has been pretty mid. I'm not gonna lie. Granted, in this game, there was a huge lack of service for Santi Gimenez. A lot of the times when Antuna would cross the ball or when Quiñones would cross the ball, it would just go over his head. He wasn't really getting service to his feet, to where you could say, okay, he had enough meaningful chances that he essentially just wasted, right? And then if we look at the lineup for this game, right, you'll see we did also lose Edson Alvarez in this match. Shout out to CONMEBOL, shout out to CONCACAF, shout out to the good old US of A, because the fields that we're playing on, not just Mexico, but all of these teams are absolutely diabolical. They're essentially rolling grass on top of turf, meaning that players are more susceptible to getting injured, like Edson Alvarez, who's now out for the entire tournament. We lost him at the 30th minute, and honestly, once he did leave the game, I quickly tweeted that this tournament was honestly going to be over for Mexico. Granted, Luis Romo did come into the game, and he did do a really good job at that position to cover for Edson. But again, with us playing against Jamaica, I had the feeling that we were going to get the win one way or another, but losing Edson is going to be a huge loss for us. He is that man in the midfield for us, probably our best player outside of the attack, so losing him is a huge loss. As you guys can see, right, ratings don't always tell the full picture. Antuna was absolutely terrible. Santi, like I said, was really bad as well, and Quiñones also. I'm glad we got the win, but the signs were there that this was not going to be an easy tournament for us, and honestly, this was proven with this freaking Venezuela game that we just lost. So with Venezuela, this was a team that we hadn't lost to in like 42 years or something crazy, and would you look at that, Jimmy Lozano's breaking records. We lose 1-0 to a Rondon penalty that Quiñones gave up very stupidly, and of course they capitalized on that. And honestly, this game from the beginning was just absolutely terrible. Jimmy Lozano gave Charlie Rodriguez a start for whatever reason. This guy never performs in a Mexico jersey. He lost us so many chances in the attack where he could have played a good ball in, connected with his teammates, but no, he was absolutely terrible going forward. Add to that the fact that again, we are seeing Antuna start in important games when time after time he is not doing anything of sort that is helping us. It's crazy. At this point, bro, throw in Alexis Vega, throw in El Chino Huerta, throw in anybody, El Piojo, somebody, anybody but Antuna, bro. At this point, the guy has gotten chance after chance after chance to prove himself, and he has not. Speaking of players that need to prove themselves, Santi Gimenez, like I said, I love the guy, but this game, honestly, he had the opportunity to put his country on his back, and he failed, right? He had his opportunity. Phenomenal run in behind to get into the perfect opportunity from a very great ball over the top, by the way. Granted, it was on his weak foot, but he has to do better there, whether it's rounding the keeper or actually making good contact with the ball. Santi Gimenez had a stinker, period. So did Charlie Rodriguez, so did Quiñones. Our attack is just lackluster. We have no creativity. There was large periods of the game where we were just passing the ball left to right, to the back, left and right. We weren't going forward, and honestly, that is a huge problem for this team. Alas, we went out with this team and we played absolutely absolutely terrible. Johan Vasquez honestly was the shining light of this game. He's the only player that I could say is performing up to his standard, right? Genoa center back, I believe they came in 11th in Serie A. He's doing very well. He did pretty good this game, but outside of that, everyone was very mid. We started off the game well, which is the crazy thing. Like I said, we were holding possession. Even if it was side to side, we at least had the lion's share of the ball. After like the 30th minute, as you guys can kind of see here from the momentum tracker, it just all went downhill. So at this point, Santi Jimenez got really frustrated with what was going on in the game. He pretty much just started dropping deep to pick up the ball and started to try to do everything by himself, which I get it, right? He was frustrated, so I understand that he was doing it for that reason, but that was a really big detriment because when he would drop, no one was pushing in behind when he did get the ball. So it was essentially, it looked like a one-man show for about 10 minutes when Santi Jimenez was just trying to run back and pick up the ball. He wasn't getting any support from the wingers. Charlie Rodriguez was misplacing pass after pass after pass. It was just so painful to watch, and we missed so many chances. And even when Santi Jimenez came off, right here you guys can see he came off for Martinez. Martinez didn't offer much either. Like, we were crossing in the ball to him. He got on the end of a couple of good opportunities and he just did not do anything with them. We also missed a penalty, by the way. We got a penalty we could have at least drawn the game, but no, we missed the penalty in like the 85th minute or something like that, the 87th minute. So we had opportunities to tie and even win the game, and we just failed. And honestly, it goes back to the lack of creativity, the poor attacking. We are just not good, and we have to start accepting that this team is not good enough. Coaching is not good enough. The team isn't good enough. The culture isn't good enough. Nothing is good enough. And until people understand that, and La Selección, the federation, understand that, we're in for trouble. Honestly, I think I've said this in the past. If we weren't already qualified for the World Cup, there's a chance we don't make it, which is crazy. But where does Mexico go from here in Copa America? I mean, we're currently sitting in 3rd place, 3 points. Venezuela's already qualified. We play against Ecuador next. Literally, we need to win. We can't draw. Obviously, we can't lose. We need to win. Are we going to? I doubt it, honestly. Ecuador looked very good against Jamaica. They beat them 3-1. They're very convincing. They're gonna get Ener Valencia back. They have Moises Caicedo. They have a couple of really good players, good defenders with Pacho and Hincapié. It's gonna be tough. I hate to be so pessimistic. Like I said, I went into this hoping we could do more, and I am still going into the Ecuador game hoping we can get a win. Even if we get bounced out in the quarterfinals, whatever, as long as we can win, I'll be happy. Showing good performances as well, but it's not looking pretty. It's not looking good, bro. I hope we do better, but the likelihood that we pull off a crazy performance is probably not looking good for us. At the end of the day, right, Jimmy Lozano's probably gonna keep putting Antuna. He's probably gonna keep putting Charlie Rodriguez. There's a lot that's just not gonna be going for us in this tournament. I have a feeling he's gonna drop Santi Jimenez for the next game, even though he's only really given him a handful of chances. I hope he gets one more opportunity to at least prove the haters wrong and even prove me wrong at this point, because now I'm kind of doubting him, but I have a feeling he's gonna get dropped. But we're gonna wait to see. But at least if we do get bounced out of the group stage, I pray this is a wake-up call for the fans, the media, the federation, La Selección, Liga MX, bro, everybody. Things need to change in order for this national team to be better. I've talked about it in a couple of videos in the past, but at this point, after the Venezuela game, it's just a culmination of so many things that have gone wrong that are gonna continue to go wrong. But you guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. Give me your predictions for Mexico versus Ecuador. I don't think it's gonna look good, but again, hopefully Mexico can win. More Copa America content is on the way, boys. I know I've been slacking on that. Gotta do a lot of catch up on that tournament. I've only really been covering freaking Euros. I'm slacking there, boys. My apologies for that. So make sure you subscribe, hit that noti bell so you don't miss the uploads that are coming up on the channel. But thank you boys for watching again. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Peace.